according to Variety, the actor Jonathan Majors, who
Mm.
Lovecraft Country and who who's does work with Marvel, uh, allegedly more abuse victims have come forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some more allegations against Jonathan Majors. He has a May 8th court appearance for domestic violence charges, but it appears that there's more. Uh, Sources tell Variety that multiple alleged abuse victims have come forward following his March arrest, and they are cooperating with the Manhattan DA's office.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
If there are more women in the case involved, rather, that is a serious turn of events. The DA declined to comment. Jonathan Majors, his team denies any abuse, and they say he is innocent. Of course, he starred in Creed 3, and he really
Mm-hmm.
is one of the biggest up and coming stars in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Uh, I do believe in innocent until proven guilty. We've seen no video of this incident that allegedly happened back on March 25th. There's been accusations of strangulation and assault.
Mm.
And yeah, allegedly the victim is a 30-year-old woman, his girlfriend, and Jonathan Majors is 33. And she sustained quote unquote minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. At one point, Jonathan Major's team released text messages from the alleged victim, but in my opinion, the messages didn't really help too much. I
No.
don't know why. I don't know why they released the text messages. And so the story now is that there are some people saying this is a black man being attacked, and this is a black man whose career is being ruined, and he was one of the hottest stars, and because of accusations, his career is being impacted, and folks are jumping the gun and assuming versus being innocent until proven guilty. So, yeah, this is where we are.
Mm.
What are your thoughts, Reese?
You know, I've been following along. I don't like to necessarily be the first to comment on,
Right.
stories like this because sometimes things change very quickly in terms of what the story is, and I want to be sensitive to not persecuting a black man or a black woman for that matter. I do try to be sensitive of that. Um and I was kind of withholding judgment, but when his lawyer was saying, "Oh, we have text messages that exonerate him and yada yada," and I said, "Okay, well, that's lawyers say that kind of stuff. Like, show me the receipts, and then I'll make my judgment from that. If you have text messages that exonerate you, great. If you have witnesses that say like that's not what happened, great." But then when these text messages came out, I said, "Oh, this is why your other client went to jail because your ass is a fucking horrible attorney." Like, I don't know how any logical, reasonable, rational person can look at these text messages as an exoneration. I mean, because the text messages really raise more I mean, the text messages confirm that the woman collapsed, that she passed out, that the doctors thought she was strangled. They gave her papers for strangulation. Like, the text messages are very incriminating. She's like, "I shouldn't have touched her phone." Okay, now hold on. My baby grabs my phone all the time. The girl has never ended up in the hospital strangled in lacerations. That's never happened. You can get your phone back without beating the shit out of somebody. So all I'm saying is it's not looking good for him. And the evidence that's making it not look good for him came from his own attorney. So you can't put this as this is a grand conspiracy and Variety magazine or the New York Times leaked these text messages to make him look bad. His team put out the text messages that make it look like the girl was physically assaulted over a cell phone. That's his team that did that. That's his team that said that these text messages are what's going to clear his name. And they just flat out don't. They just don't. So, um, at the end of the day, he he did what he did, allegedly, reportedly, and that's for him to sit with. It's not a Black community civil rights issue. It's not a, oh, here they go trying to tear down a Black man issue. Y'all was just talking about how they was trying to make Black men feminine because he had on a pink jacket and some cowboy boots with no shirt on. They were trying to say that they're trying to have an agenda because him and Michael B. Jordan were, affectionate towards each other in a, platonic way. So how y'all go from agenda to now there's a whole different agenda that they trying to bring him down because what? Like it's really sad, and actually my heart kind of broke for this woman what she's communicating, because I'm like, oh, girl, how does what you're communicating warrant you ended up in the hospital? That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know. I haven't had a chance to read too much about, all of the other people. I mean, people said he's not a nice guy and other number of things, but I'm not dying on the hill of Jonathan Majors based on what I've seen so far. If you want to withhold judgment, that's fine. I don't live in New York. I'm not going to be on his jury. So I'm just stating what my opinion is. But this one right here, I don't think this is the one that people should plant the flag on in terms of saying like they're coming after him.
Reese, people are saying that if he were a young up and coming white actor, that he would get more grace.
Well, I mean, what grace hasn't he received? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's just now, like, what has it been, like a month? Like now they're like, oh, we're not going to invite him to this event, and oh, maybe we're evaluate our relationship. Like there was no pitchforks out for him. Like we've seen the pitchforks come out for people over the past several years when accusations have been made. That hasn't happened to him yet. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's an actual active criminal case. His lawyers have released to me incriminating evidence against him that they're framing as exoneration. Is what grace hasn't he been given yet? I haven't seen him have too many consequences for his actions yet, aside from a
Right,
criminal case.
trending on social media. I don't know if that's major epic consequences trending on. I think we sometimes get caught up in when someone trends on social media that they're being canceled. It doesn't
Yeah.
sound necessarily the case. It's just commentary is happening. And listen, I don't want to see any Black man be wrongfully accused or anything like that. Like I said, I will
Right.
say that his team, I do believe they made a mistake releasing those text messages. But listen, I do believe that Black men can be wrongfully targeted.
Yes.
But Reese, I want us to have that same energy when Black folks are wrongfully targeted. I want us to have that same energy for Meg the Stallion.
Hello.
I mean, the way that I've seen more people defending Jonathan Majors, I don't know if he did anything wrong yet, than Meg the Stallion, who allegedly was shot. And there were some terrible things being, well, I guess it was proven in court.
I mean, he's been found guilty.
Yeah, Tory Lanez, and the horrible things that I heard about her. I'll take you back to Robin Givens when she was the most hated woman in America. And Mike Tyson was assaulting her, and somehow she was the villain. So I'm with you. Let's stand by. Let's be critical. Let's be critical of news coverage and all that kind of stuff. But I just want us to have that same energy when it comes to Black women. That's all that I'm saying.
Well, also, I mean, did I miss the part where people started condoning violence again? Because I saw people talk about how Will Smith was a disgrace because he slapped Chris Rock, and he's embarrassing to Black people. He made Black people look bad and Black men look bad and yada, 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 yada. Okay, so this doesn't, I'm confused. So when are we okay with violence? If it's against a woman, obviously yes. If it's behind closed doors, obviously yes. Because I mean, where is the energy that we don't like Black men out there being violent, making us look bad? And I'm not trying to say that all Black men are standing by him. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just saying, why I don't think that this is the kind of behavior based on the evidence. Like I said, his team put out that I would try to say, all right, let's stick with him. Let's see what happens. No, not this time.
And also, I don't think this is commentary for interracial relationships.
I've
You know,
seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of
I've
that.
seen a lot of that.
Mhm.
I don't think it's commentary for that. I don't think it's, if the woman was assaulted, to say that she targeted him because she's white and he's black and she had
Mhm.
some conspiracy. Um, if that's what happened, you just can't put your hands on people. And I was saying this yesterday. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
careful. Um, you know, when some celebrities get really famous, they have to really analyze. I'm not talking about the girlfriend, I'm just talking about his team. Uh,
Right.
it has not been handled well. So you got to really make sure you have a good team uh, around you. But nonetheless, when it comes to, when I see people dying on a hill for particular people, I'm like, I've seen folks who have done nothing wrong, and y'all will vilify them.
Oh yeah.
I'm old enough to remember when folks were saying that, what did Rihanna do? What did
Right.
Rihanna
Oh
do?
yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, for sure. For
That
sure.
was a
For sure.
graphic picture. What did she do wrong? She ran her mouth. I remember that. So let us have that same energy.
But
Let us,
also, there are so many people who have been even convicted and they've come back. They've come back
oh,
from
definitely.
accusations. You take your medicine, you do the time or whatever
Yeah.
situation, you have a settlement, and then it's
Domestic
like,
violence does not ruin your career. It does not.
no,
Not in
no.
this country. Not
It's
in
like
this
the Men
country.
in Black eraser. Like, okay, we're all moving past this. We've all collectively decided
Right.
we don't care.
Chris Brown had to come back. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying Chris Brown should have been forgiven because Rihanna forgave Chris Brown. Just saying, to your point, you could. I mean, Mike Tyson, he's beloved, I've
Now, yeah.
interviewed Mike Tyson. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
interviewed him, and I think, yeah. But I mean, listen, you're right. It's not like the domestic violence. I mean, look at all those people in the NFL. I mean, my God,
Hello.
black and white.
Every sport, every situation, people are managed to come back. Now you may not come back on the same stratosphere. Probably should keep your hands to yourself. But the whole, like I said, when people say show grace and this, that, and the other. I'm trying to figure out what the man has lost that much, aside from some invites, which I like invites. I would like to go to the Met Gala, and have people take my pictures. But I don't think that that's a huge sacrifice to make when you're facing this kind of controversy. If he was facing any kind of controversy, he would probably be like, all right, let's take a pause on you for a moment. So I just
Right.
think that, this is not a reflection of Black men. I understand why we are protective of one another, but
Convictions, absolutely, yeah.
I get it. And I've seen far more support for him than I've seen condemnation. And I will say that there was a lot more support for him before those text messages came out. When the text messages came out, it was like, okay, now hold on now. So,
Yeah.
but look at Tory Lanez. You still got people trying to say that he was wrongfully convicted. It's Rock Nation, this, that, and the other, all kind of shit. Like, we just live in a society that is very forgiving and very skeptical when a woman is being victimized by a man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I could think of a long, long list. A long, long list.
Yep.
So, but again, innocent until proven guilty. But I wanted
Absolutely.
to cover that angle because, I didn't talk about it the first 2 weeks. I didn't mention it at all. Because, like you
Right.
said, and, that doesn't always mean you're going to be first, when you're in
Yeah.
media. I didn't care. I wanted to wait till more information comes out. So, allegedly, and this is there's been more people coming out according to Variety. They have a source in Manhattan. The Manhattan DA hasn't spoken out, so we'll see what happens. But I think it's worth having the conversation of, is this a black celebrity who's being attacked because he's black? And I think it's just important to put some nuance and critical thinking
Yeah.
around that, because there are some, obviously, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if that's Mr. Majors. I don't know.
N-
And I don't know,
Let me
Reese,
tell
I
you,
don't know if
it's
he would
not.
say that either.
It's not a conspiracy. This is not a conspiracy against. I'm telling you that right now. He might be Innocent.
Wait, hold on, Reese.
Okay.
He was getting ready to buy NBC though. Come on,
What?
Reese. He was.
Okay. No, this is not a I'm sorry, this is not a conspiracy. This is one of those things. I'm not giving you conspiracy. I'm not gonna say I don't know. It's just not. Okay. Because my attitude is if you know you on top, then you should be having your ducks in a row. You should be making sure, look, I'm not gonna be doing lines of coke in the bathroom. So that somebody come in here and do this. I'm not gonna be groping people. I'm not gonna be putting my hands on nobody. Like you should know once you're at that level, hey, they say new levels, new devils. So don't be your own damn devil, okay? Don't do that. I'm not calling him devil. I'm just saying. So this is not a conspiracy. This is not a conspiracy. But if he's innocent, then I hope that he gets a fair trial.